A quick general overview on how to select the difficulty of the things that you're doing. So in general, I'm going to set your numbers. You choose the numbers of your things depending on the outcome that you're trying to achieve. So this will be the number of rounds times the number of repetitions that you do in each round. You set those numbers according to what you're trying to accomplish. If you don't know how to do that, then I do that. That's my job. Your job is to find a version or a level or a weight of these things that's appropriate for these numbers. So if I'm asking for 4 to 6 of something, for example, you're looking to adjust the version or the weight that's the right amount of hard for these numbers, 4 to 6. So if you're trying something and I'm asking for 4 to 6, and you're able to do 12 of them, you've gone too light or too easy mode, yeah? If I'm trying and I can only get to 2 and I can't get the third one, okay, I've gone a little bit too hot, adjust accordingly. So if I got to 12, okay, next time I'm gonna go a little bit heavier or a little bit harder, depending on what you're working on, yeah? Something, if I'm asking for 15 to 20 of something, naturally you're going to have to go a little bit easier. The case of a curl or a weight is easy to illustrate. So 4 to 6, if I only need 4 to 6, I would be able to naturally go heavier. I could lift more 6 times than I could for 15 to 20. If I have to get 15 to 20 of them, then I'm naturally going to have to go lighter to get into that range. Adjust accordingly. That's the game. I generally count my sets like this. I don't count all my practice or my build-up sets, everything. I don't want to jump straight in and start at my heavy, hard level. That's a bit crazy. So I'll do a couple of build-up sets, I call them. Really, you can think of it like this. Anything before it's hard is just practice. And depending what it is, I might do 3 or 5. Build-up sets, none of those count. If I'm doing heavy deadlifts, I'm going to do a light set, that doesn't count. I'm going to do a medium set, also doesn't count. Not until I get into the point where it's hard does it start to count. At that point, that's set number 1. So the first one that's hard for my rep range, that's set number 1 in my working sets that count. Everything before that is a build-up set. First one that's in the juice, first one that's like, that's set number 1 of your working set. Those are the ones that count. A great way to progress and to get awesomer is like this. Once I've messed around and I've found an appropriate weight or version of something for my target rounds and target reps, I'm going to mess around in there. So if I found a good version, a weight heavy enough that I could get maybe 5 rounds of 5 reps. That's where I'm going to start. Next week I'm going to try and get some more. I'm going to try and beat that total rounds versus reps. Once I'm finally able to get them all, I could get 6 rounds at 6 reps. I maxed out the rounds and the reps. Next week, I'm going to go a little bit heavier or a little bit harder. That should push me back down to the lower end range. Maybe I could only get 4 rounds of 4 or 5 reps or something like that. Then I'm going to just stay there. Next week, I'm going to try and get more. I'm going to try and get until I'm able to max it out again. Once I'm able to max out, okay, maybe 6 rounds of 6 reps at that new weight. Lather, rinse, repeat. Add a little bit of intensity, turn it up, go heavier or a harder version or something. Crank it on that and push you back down to the lower end of the range. Build up and intensify. You can kind of ride that wave. You can kind of just ride that cycle almost forever and continually advance. We're going to get a little bit cooler than that, but really for basic level, you can just ride that process for so long and get so good.